Hello everybody, welcome back to How to Build a B-1 Bomber. I have been working on my gear doors past couple days. I'll tell you about that in a minute. I got all this painted white. Looks pretty good, but it's a little bright. It don't quite match my landing gear. I don't know, it's close, but if you look at that, that's kind of just a shade off white, and that's just bright white. So I think I'll have them tint that down a little bit and put another coat on it. But it looks pretty good. It'll work. It's sure solid. That made that nice and solid though. Man, it looks good. I'm sure happy with the way all that turned out. But okay, now I'm back to my gear doors. These are all the ones I just cut out of the fuselage. Okay, they're fine. But remember back a long time ago, right after I made my mold, right after I made that mold, I made these little molds off my plug. So any of them, this is the one off the front. I'm going to have to replace this one because that's where I seamed my fuselage together. And it just happened to be right on the front of this gear door. And that's right on my lip, so I can't even cover it with my balsa. And that would just look kind of tacky. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in a scrap fiberglass pile. And I'll use this for something else later. I always got a need for hunks of fiberglass already laid out. Put that in the fiberglass pile. Now here is the little mold I took off the plug. See, and it just fits that. It just fits perfect. And there is actually, you can see where the seam is, because you know when I made my mold, I took razor blades and was cutting that clay. Well, it left a little mark. It's no big deal, but that's number one, and it goes that way. So I'll just have to really remake one door. I wasn't sure when I made all these, so I just went ahead and made molds for everything. You can see them panel lines a little bit, but this one's for the mains. And what I did is so they wouldn't be floppy, I actually glued balsa on the inside. So you know, left a nice little rim around there. What I did, and so I really have the right shape and everything. I glued all my balsa sheeting together and trimmed it. Then came in here and laid it in my mold, just like so. Then I trimmed my balsa, trimmed it all a 1/4 inch short. Then I took me a little spreader and cut some little notches in it like that, like a trowel. And then put me some 30-minute epoxy on my balsa and just took it right up to that edge, just all the way around. And then I put it on there and put a weight. I keep all my old car batteries. There's a couple over there, I can't really see them. But I keep all my old car batteries for weight in the shop. I got a pile of them over there. I've been saving them for years. But I got a pile of them over there. And put a car battery on there and glued it down in place, and turned out awesome. I got this one done. I got this one done. I got one of my bomb bay doors done, and it's going to turn out awesome. And hinges, last night I knew these gear doors got cut up a little bit more, but I could not figure out how to do it. I was going through all my pictures and all my books and trying to find, and you know, it didn't show none of this. And so I got to thinking, anytime something like this happens, you always go back to your plastic model. I don't know why I just didn't do that from the start. And then I took and measured it, scaled everything up, 6.027, and that's what I came up with. That cuts there, and this part comes up with that bar that raises up out of there. And then this one hinges right here and goes towards the nacelle, and this one here opens Then once the gear come out, this one closes and this one will stay open. And so it won't hit none of the mechanism. And it's kind of like P-51 style. So I'm going to set that up in the nose gear to where they'll close. The gear, they'll open, the gear come out, doors will close. Then when you retract them, the doors open, gear goes in, and they'll close again. That's P-51 style. I'll just need a P-51 style valve, and be cool. Can't wait. Let's see what else I got for you. Oh, hinges. I've been toying with hinges all day today. You know, these are the things, these little plastic things, these are what we put in most of our other jets. You know, they're alright. They're kind of cheesy, kind of easy to break. And a lot of times them air cylinders will break them little holes. I put wheel collars on my air cylinder shaft. So when and you set your air cylinder up so there's never no load on this. You know, when it's open and you got your air cylinder adjusted to where it's just pushing it farther than it'll open, it'll bust them ears off. And same way when it closes. So I use wheel collars, and then you can make it, you know, your real fine adjustments and get that to where it just barely closes. But I don't want to use them on this. They're too cheesy, break too easy. I seen these at the hobby store, and these are pretty cool. These are some great big old Robart metal ones, and about fell over when I seen the price tag. Where'd that wrapper go? $10 for 2 of them. But I thought, you know, if they'll work good, that's alright. That's what I'll use. And because I put these walls in so close, you know, I left probably 3/16 of an inch gap back there, but it ain't enough. I tried to whittle in a slot to work that in there, but I just can't get that in deep enough. It actually needs to go in about right there. And I would have to just do all kinds of cut, and I'd have to have a slot going down for this part to go in. And they're just not going to work. They're not going to work. So what I'm going to do, I was thinking about making the scale type hinges. And man, I'd just be making a bunch of parts, man. It's a simple setup, but we'd have to make it all. And they just don't look like they'd be really rugged. You know, and I just really ain't got the time to spend a month working on hinges for these gear doors. You know, and it's just a prototype. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some, I got some wood back there, remember, so I can drill and put them Robart pin type hinges. And then I'll just have to put little hunks of wood right here and then drill and use them Robart type hinges, you know. The only time you see them is when the Bombays are open. They'll work good, they'll be semi-rugged, and they'll work. They'll work good and won't be so dang fragile. You know, because I can't really use that system I had set up on that earlier video. Man, that worked awesome. But you had to have them great big old lugs. If you go back and look on on that video, it's a real early video, but I had them big old lugs that came way out. That the servo worked, but it made two things wrong with that. The B-1s didn't have them big old lugs sticking out that far. They had little ones, little bitty ones. You know, and so I tried making them look smaller on there, and I just can't get I just can't get it to work right. And plus, it'd be a bunch of little pieces and be fragile, breaking all the time. So I'm not going to do that. But if you guys want to make a cool bomb dropping door, go back and look at that earlier video. That really worked pretty good. It just ain't going to work good on the B-1. But that's kind of where I'm at. I seen Dad's SR-71 today. He's not quite ready for me to glass it yet. A couple of you guys been asking about it, and he's not quite ready. He's almost there. Maybe by the weekend. He's still got some more filling to do. T-shirts, I'm supposed to pick them up Wednesday. I'm going to get some sent out. I owe you guys a couple. I'm going to get them sent out Wednesday. I'm running out of time. So we will see you in the shop.